Hello everyone and welcome to episode 20 of 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. At one point earlier in the playthrough we were thinking that maybe we'd aim to wrap up around episode 20. I'll tell you right now it's not going to happen. This will not be the final episode. As we jump in here, among other things, we're 85% of the way through the story mode, but 71% of the way through destruction mode. And I just also wanted to take a quick look to see Gate locked. Complete Juro Kurabe's Juro Kurabe event. We might choose to do that in this episode because I would like to make some progress here. I don't like we have sufficient evidence that it's not just a straight boss fight. So I'd like to make some progress there so that we don't wind up with one episode that's all combat. So let's try to mix it up a little bit. That said, let's bounce back to Remembrance, and I believe, so we can progress with Juro Kurabe, and I think we'll probably do that. Let me just see here. Yep, Megumi is also locked behind the Juro Kurabe event. Renya Goto we haven't started, so whether or not we start him today, that's an entire storyline to play through. Renya Goto's Hypocrisy event, so that comes out of Goto's. And yeah, we're looking pretty good. So since I don't have a really strong opinion on what we should do next, let's do Juro Kurabe's story. Let's see if we can wrap this up and then maybe unlock that third wave of combats.
Me?
Sorry, just making one quick adjustment here. Oh, and hello to Kara Luna. Kara Luna, I hope you're having a great Sunday so far. So, it's been a minute. Juro Kurabe was hanging out at Shu Amaguchi's house with Kyoto Shiba. I don't know who that is. He didn't... you know what? I think it was Epinomenon or somebody else pointed out that he is... Maybe it was Blobdiblah. I think it was Blobdiblah pointed out that Shiba is like the other friend who has all the great video games who we heard a lot about but didn't really see. Anyway, he didn't want to go home, fearing that his nightmare of killing Megumi Yakushiji would end up happening in real life. Okay, so I feel terrible, but I don't remember that particular nightmare. Let's go over here. Let's go to Juro Kurabe's lifetime. Yep, he used to be a kaiju pilot named Izumi, dreaming of Sumiri Bridge. Fuyusaka meets up with Kurabe and Amaguchi at the passageway to the old school building. She's been having strange dreams, and a tank with legs, dreaming of UFOs. Iori, who leapt through time. Series of mysterious screens light up in behind her. Okay. Got it. Let's go down to the contract. Megumi approaches Juro, who's sleeping in the living room. Fluffy appears at his side and presses the contract on her once again. To bring Kurabe back to normal, Yakushiji makes up her mind and agrees to the contract with Fluffy. Yeah, true. The talking cat, who may or may not be a demon, gave Megumi a magic gun. It's definitely a thing. Yep, okay. Shu Amaguchi, which... When Megumi Yakushiji shoots Amaguchi, a Sentinel suddenly activates. Kurabe witnesses the whole event, and Fluffy ends up having to manipulate his memories. Okay? It's not magic. Boy, this is a lot of Megumi. There's a lot of Megumi, I have to say. Kurabe's talking to himself, muttering to himself in the classroom after school. Kisaragi leaves a little bit before Miwako to handle some business. Gosh, I am just not remembering. It must have been an event where he was an adult. I'd love to find it. I'd love to find that specific event so that we could replay it. Let me just see if I might recognize it from the little thing, because there's so much Megumi in here. Like, I like Megumi's story, I just didn't really think about it. You know, this might be it. So let's do a little bit of a flashback. Kiruluna says, got one of them days, didn't sleep well tonight, so head hurts bad. Oh, Kiruluna, I'm really sorry about that. No stream from me today, says Kiruluna, so you streaming is perfect. Well, we'll try to make some good company here. Sorry for the slow start, but ever since Epinomenon introduced the idea that we could rewatch some of these scenes, it's been so long, like weeks and weeks and weeks since we did a Juro Kurabe thing. Let's watch this real quick. Yes, let's recall it.
It's already 7 o'clock. Man, Amiguchi's place is the best. Any game you want to play, he's got it. He really is a rich kid, huh? I'm jealous.
Hey, Azaric. I hope that you were having a nice Sunday.
He's got so many new releases on CD. The TV shelf is full of things, too. Looks like laser discs. This is incredible.
You said you wanted a drink, right? You cool with soda?
Thanks, Amiguchi-kun.
Just keep that can in my pocket, I guess. Yeah, Azaric says Sunday's going well. Hope yours is going well. Well, so far.
Ah, crap! Don't talk to me right now. You'll break my concentration.
All right. I'm not really a fan of Shiba. Maybe this is why I don't remember him.
It's getting dark. We should probably go get dinner soon. You're coming, right? My treat.
You already paid for my ramen last time. I feel kind of bad.
Then what? You want to call it a day?
I can still tag along. I'll just pay for my own food.
Damn. That means I've got to pay too. Just one more, okay? I need to try that again. If I die this time, I'll switch with you.
All right. Oh, I can't swear here. Okay. So I guess we'll all go out for ramen. Nope.
I can't see.
Oh. Did you watch the video?
Hey, I'm not going to ignore a friend's recommendation.
Did you already finish it? What did you think?
Kind of a campy plot. You've got this mad scientist who loses his real body, so he builds a new body and sets out, bent on revenge. It was interesting, but definitely not for casuals.
For a B-movie? That just proves it's a masterpiece.
Okay. I don't want to walk in front of the TV because apparently Shiba's really into it.
Whoa.
What's up?
Just learning something about you. I figured you were only really into Western music. Never thought you'd be into the idol scene. Miyuki Inaba. She's been really getting big lately, hasn't she?
I mean, you know how it is. Just got curious. I'm getting hungry. Did you want to just grab dinner and go home?
Actually, do you think I could stay a little longer? I'd really appreciate it.
My old man's probably at his mistress's place again. And I'm all by myself here. Stay as long as you want.
Thanks.
Say, any specific reason you don't want to go home?
Well, the person I'm living with is, I can't put the blame on her. I'm the one with the problem. If I'm around her too long, I might...
Anyhow, want to get food?
We're leaving.
Hold on, I'm almost done.
Yeah, just go.
We could swing by the video store. Pick up something new to watch.
Oh, speaking of... Before I forget again, here you go.
Is that the sequel to that sci-fi flick? All right, let's check it out when we get back. We can watch it together.
I'm gonna have to pass.
Oh, not in the mood for horror?
That's not it. Sorry, it's just... I think I've been watching too many movies lately. I'm getting kind of scared. I keep having weird dreams.
Again? Did you have another crazy dream? What happened in it?
There's very, very few movies or television shows or games that have ever given me dreams. There's a handful, but not very many.
In the dream, I went insane. I killed everyone around me, including Fuyusaka-san. And you. Yakushiji too. So now I feel anxious whenever she's around. I'm scared I might end up actually killing her.
Okay, I was hoping that we would also get the dream because... So... We have seen other scenes where adult Juro Izumi is accused by adult Morimura of gunning down everyone else who has the nanomachines, which does include Megumi, Amaguchi, Fuyusaka, and well, not Fuyusaka because that's just Morimura, but that at some point he goes against everybody and is trying to kill them, apparently on the belief that we now know is accurate, that the nanomachines themselves can contain a control code that summon the kaiju, and his solution appeared to be to eradicate everyone who's carrying those nanomachines. And there is a scene. Apparently, my best guess is that this is the last scene that we had with Juro Kurabe. As far as a videotape, yeah. So that was our recap as best as we can find it. Let's go ahead and continue this, fearing that his nightmare of killing Megumi Yakushiji would end up happening in real life. I also didn't accurately pick up on it at the time, but now at least we have a sense on why he's so nervous to be around Megumi, because she's been nothing but pleasant to him, and it's always been a little bit of a mystery to me of like, what is his hang-up? Is he really worried about getting in trouble at school for having this other schoolmate who's living with him? But now we know, actually, he's worried about intrusive thoughts. He's worried about uncontrollable impulses. He's having these vivid dreams about killing her, among others, and he's actually worried for her safety. And I'm not sure that I put that together before, and if I did, I certainly didn't call it out. The dream is also replayable, but it's in a separate entry. Yeah, as opposed to navigating that menu for a while, let's jump into something new. I'm sure it is in there, but the way that this game unfolds in a non-linear way as you jump between the people makes it sometimes difficult to identify exactly the section that you're looking at. So it's good to know that it's in there. And hello to Jab, but we'll jump into something brand new. Jab, you're just here in time for the next new thing that we're doing. Okay, let's think about things that we know.
So let me get this straight. Juro Izumi came from the future. He lost his memories due to some incident. And the damage was so bad, he needed a whole new personality. That's how he became me, Juro Kurabe. It's so hard to believe. But if it's true, that would explain why I kept feeling like something was off.
Boy, I sure hope no one's standing directly behind me.
I tried asking her about that talk she had on the stairs, but she just dodged the question. She had a sad look on her face.
Oh, here it is. This is the shootout dream that we were thinking about.
In my dream, a woman and I went back in time to prevent the extinction of humanity. To do that, we had to blow up some sort of research facility. And, well, we did it. And if that weren't enough, we shot the researchers dead. The woman I was with in that dream looked eerily similar to Fuyusaka-san. Minami-san suddenly showed up at my house, and then brought over Miura-kun out of nowhere. As if I didn't have enough problems with Yakushiji around. I always dreamed of living on my own. So much for that. That dream was awful. I was going around killing students. I shot so many. Like Fuyusaka-san. And Yakushiji. If that was a real memory, does that mean I actually did all that?
So the fact that he remembers them as students makes me think that maybe these are different ideas. The shootout dream, which is the one that I'm thinking of, and then Terrible Dream where he was shooting the students at school. Because that one I don't remember. I don't know if we've heard about that or if that was actually like a sequence that was shown at some point. Now, we've done all of our green ones. Is there anything else that we wanted to see? Well, let's think about this guy.
Come to think of it, I saw Shiba-kun in a dream the other day. A pretty creepy one. Something about an android.
Way creepier than he is in real life. Oh, hey, Shiba.
Hey, Juro. Let's go home. Oh, yeah, almost forgot. I never finished reading this.
Okay, before we go, so Classroom After School 2, and we've got all of these options, including one that can only be unlocked by that one video. So that'll probably be the one that we aim at first. Nope.
Let's go.
Hey, bye. We get to talk to them. All right. Hey, Shiba.
Hey, don't you want to go to Amiguchi-kun's place? You didn't bring it up today.
Well, I beat the game, so now we can hang out, you and me.
Oh, God.
Where do you want to go?
Sorry, I'm reacting here to the implication that the only reason he ever wanted to hang out with Amaguchi was to get at his video game collection. I am not an Amaguchi fan, and that's a shitty way to treat somebody. So let's, that one video.
Do you think that one video is still available for rent?
Probably. Want to go check?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Don't forget your bag.
Okay, before we go, since I don't actually... Oh, it's no longer an option. Well, then let's think about the one only other thing that we have.
In that movie, an alien's UFO breaks down. So he runs away to take refuge on Earth. There's a famous scene where he teleports onto a bridge.
All right, let's grab the bag, which I think is over here.
Hopefully no one's checked it out yet.
I actually have some memories of wanting to rent a particular game from a local shop. This was like before Blockbuster was a thing, and being worried that it would be rented out by the time that I got there, like wanting to run directly there after school so that I would be able to play it over the weekend.
We're out of luck, man. Video store's closed.
By the looks of it, I don't think it'll be reopening anytime soon. The windows were completely shattered.
It must have been part of that big gas explosion.
Oh, I saw that on TV. That was our video store? There was a gas leak in the shopping district. The explosion damaged buildings and shattered windows. I heard about it on the 7 a.m. news.
All right, and just to bring us all back up to speed, my memory is that that gas explosion was the cover story that was invented for the appearance of a Sentinel, and at the time it seemed like maybe the government had clamped down on it, and I remember that I was asking, like, it kind of seems like a lot of people would have seen a 2,000-ton robot be there. Since then, we've learned a lot about universal control and how it can apparently rewrite people's memories virtually at will to prevent them from realizing the fact that they're all in a big, like, 1985 terrarium. So it makes more sense as to how everyone has decided to buy that cover story.
So what do we do? Just go home disappointed?
You don't have much of a choice. Oh, Juro-kun. What are you doing here?
I followed you after school.
Is something wrong?
Tell me the truth, please. You don't need to play innocent. You are a Sentinel pilot. How did you activate it?
Sentinel? What is that?
Are you telling me you've forgotten? It just happened the other day, right here.
What happened? You mean the gas explosion? I heard about it, but...
That wasn't a gas explosion. It was you. You transmitted your Sentinel right over there.
Transmitted?
You talking about movies? I think I saw that one.
Oh, yeah. Now that you mention it. That did happen in one of the tapes you let me borrow.
Juro-kun. Who are you talking to?
Oh, tell me he's fictional. Oh, that'd be both great and the next major twist.
This is one of my classmates. His name is Kyuta Shiba.
Where is he?
What? Shiba-kun? He's right next to us.
Sorry, but it's just you and me here.
Come on, Miura-kun. Wait. I think this has happened before.
So, did you check out that video I lent you?
Yep. Watched the whole thing. I forgot to bring the tape back, though.
No rush, man. But you gotta tell me what you thought.
Well, in the end, the criminal took over the main guy's body. So I guess he ended up becoming a criminal himself. Not sure how to feel about it. I think it's pretty controversial.
Oh, yeah? I thought the ending was awesome.
Hey, why do you keep talking to yourself? Is everything okay?
So, is this the scene that we just saw in his timeline where, like, I think it was Kisaragi noticed Juro muttering to himself? He was actually talking to Shiba, but he's the only one that can see Shiba. This is great.
I was talking to Shiba-kun.
Shiba? Who the heck is that?
You know, Kyuta Shiba. Our classmate?
There's no one with that name in our class.
Huh? Come to think of it, I saw Shiba-kun in a dream the other day. A pretty creepy one. Something about an android.
Now, isn't there somebody else? Like we also know that Talking Cat, Fluffy, is only visible to Megumi. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember how we determine that, but he's Fluffy presents as a version of the cat that hangs around school, Akira or whatever that cat's name is. Shintaro, that's who it is. But only Megumi can see the version that talks. Fluffy is completely invisible to everybody else, but it took a while to determine that because he always runs away whenever anybody else is around. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that we know is not apparent to people outside the protagonist. Also, hey Miwako.
Hey, Kurabe-kun?
I know. The papers, right? I'll get them later. Listen. Kisaragi-san's acting strange. She's saying there's no one named Shiba-kun in our class.
Shiba? Who?
He's standing right there.
Kurabe-kun. There's no one named Shiba here.
And also, hello to Haseo. Haseo, I've wanted to be very careful not to see too much, but I hope that you are enjoying Tales of Arise as much as everybody else. It seems like a great game.
Are you okay?
If anybody is interested in seeing some Tales of Arise, you can find that over at Haseo Ryu. That's Haseoryu.
Say something, Shiba-kun. They're being so mean.
Is this some kind of prank, or are you talking to ghosts? Either way, it's not funny.
Me, a ghost? These girls need a better sense of humor. Let's go.
Shiba-kun.
See, now I'm going back through my memory and trying to think of any examples where Shu Amaguchi acknowledged the existence of Shiba, because I've been taking it so for granted that the three of them are friends. But like, let's think about the flashback scene that we just played before this. Shu Hamaguchi never once acknowledges that Shiba is there, except I will note he does walk around Shiba-kun. He doesn't walk in front of the screen. I actually paid attention to that. After I walked in front of the screen and Shiba was like, I can't see. Hamaguchi went around behind him, and I thought that was a nice touch.
What's your deal? Let's get going already.
Hey, we grew up together, right?
Well, yeah. We've been best buds since grade school. What's gotten into you?
Something's just not right.
And hello to Force and Zozo5002. I hope you were both having a great weekend.
You're taking their joke way too seriously.
It is strange, though. It's odd. When I think about grade school, I don't remember him at all. I can't remember any times in middle school either. Shiba-kun? You said you've been with me all this time, but I can't seem to remember the details. I don't have any memories of our time together. Why do you think that is?
I should have known you'd figure it out.
What do you mean?
Guess I overdid it with the mind hacking lately. Let's not overthink this, okay? Here, take this tape with you. It's your next set of memories. Go home and watch it carefully.
Okay.
Wait! Calm down.
I remember now. Shiba-kun is... I'm the only one who can see him.
Well, I can't be letting anyone else in on our little secret. I gotta get my shit together. When I'm not careful, I blow my cover.
Who are you?
Artificial Personality, 48Q. Codename QTA-CBA. In other words, Kyuta Shiba. I know, it's a bit of a stretch. But I had to come up with something that suited you. You get along well with this kind of guy, right?
Kyuta?
There's no use running. It's too late for that. I've already filled your head with transplanted memories. They're running all around in there, aren't they? But don't worry. Leave things to me and you'll be just fine.
Transplanted memories?
Yep. Mine.
Calm yourself. There's no one here.
But he's right there in front of me.
You would have been better off not knowing any of this. What a shame.
So those movies were Shiba-kun's memories.
Shiba's? No. My real name is Juro Izumi. You're not gonna remember this anyway. So chill out. Unless you want to look like a crazy person. Alright, my friend. I've got a new video for you. Just forget about the world for a bit. And watch this. You're gonna love it. It'll wipe your mind clean as a whistle.
No. Stop!
Juro-kun!
So I really like this twist. I tend to be on high alert for characters that play a role in the story but are only interacted with by one other character. For a long time, I'll tell you exactly where it came from. There was a trilogy of books written by Christopher Pike, and like I'm just gonna say it. So if you are a big fan of Christopher Pike books, and I don't mean the Star Trek character of Christopher Pike, I mean the young adult novelist Christopher Pike. There's a trilogy of stories in which one of the end sort of where it all comes out is that one of the major characters that's in there was in fact just sort of a splintered personality, a disassociated personality for one of the other characters. And so the big twist was, oh, that person was never real, and everything that they did, everything that they said was just sort of happening in this one character's mind. And ever since reading that book in like middle school, I have kept an eye out for characters that it doesn't feel like they fit into the story, and watching to see if at some point they are ever acknowledged by a second character. I totally overlooked Sheba. I mean, like, to an extent, I didn't remember that Sheba even existed in the story, but still, this is a very cool twist, because yeah, from Juro Izumi's, like, here's the reason that I forgot about Sheba. No one else ever talks about him. No one else is friends with him. All the way through Shu Amaguchi's story, he never came up. So when, over the crush of this narrative unfolding, suddenly Juro's like, oh yeah, my good friend Sheba. I was like, who is that? Who are we talking about? And it was, again, I think Blobbity Blah was like, oh, he's the third friend. I was like, oh yeah, I do vaguely remember that. So the effect that this has is it makes me feel a little bit like Juro, and a little bit like someone who's been overwritten by Master Control, Universal Control, in that, like, oh shit, like, my memory's been edited, that I did not remember this person, or the fact that I'm good friends with him. It's a fun twist. And Ricardinho, thank you so much for the resubscription. Just resubscribed for 15 months. We've been celebrating over the last week or so Ricardinho's rise to affiliate status here on Twitch. He put up a really, really great video on Twitter. So if you haven't seen... if you're not a follower on his Twitter, I recommend giving him a follow. He posts up when he's going to be live and so forth, but also put up a video thanking not just us, but More Than Amiya, He Who Dies, Diesel Jones, and many, many others that form up our community. So I hope that you guys will check that video out. It was very, very well done. Force says, I wrote a paper about Confederacy of Dunces since the female side character never showed up anywhere other than the side chapters, but my professor didn't like it. I have heard the phrase Confederacy of Dunces, but I actually I'm not familiar with it. So that would be interesting to know more about. My hypothesis was that those chapters were added after the fact to add humanity to the main character. And that's another thing I'm frequently looking out for in narratives. Like, is there something here that feels like it was hastily added after the fact? And there's been nothing, by the way, in this game. This game is too tightly constructed for that. There's too many things in it that if you added more things, it would be like trying to work within the Star Wars expanded universe. There's too much. There's too many plot elements, too many characters, too many different ways that all of these stories interlock. So I cannot envision trying to edit this after the fact and say, oh, we'll just add some additional plot elements. But yeah, I'd have to think of a good example. There's definitely movies or shows that I've watched that feels like, okay, these scenes feel like they were filmed afterwards in response to a critical response from test screenings. All right, Juro Kurabe gets questioned by Kitaro Miura, the other lodger, in his grandmother's house. It turns out that he's unable to see Kurabe's friend, Kyuta Shiba. And just reading through real quick, Ricardo's saying hi to Force, Azuric's saying hi to Force, Force is saying, how's Evil Twin number 2? I think to Azuric, yay, thanks, and too much awesomeness. Yeah, agreed with Caroluna. One of our goals is maybe to finish out Juro's story if it'll let us. Alright, so, also, Kyuta Shiba, is this this feels like a play on words that I'm not getting yet. Like, I'm trying to think, like, Kyuta Shiba, it doesn't sound like it's an anagram or a homonym for Shu Amaguchi or Tetsuya Ida or Juro Izumi. So I'm not sure what, like, Kyuta Shiba... I like, maybe in the original Japanese, this would mean something more than it does to me. But they sort of underscored this, like, haha, do you get it now? I'm like, not really.
Shiba-kun's not actually human. And not only that, he's been manipulating my memories. It seems his goal is to turn me back into Juro Izumi. So, let me get this straight.
Oh, we heard all that.
I tried asking her about that talk she had on the stage.
Nope, heard that.
That dream was awful.
Okay. Shootout dream?
In my dream, a woman and I went back to do that. We had to...
Okay. Issues at home.
Minami-san suddenly showed up at my house. And then brought over Miura-kun out of nowhere. As if I didn't have enough...
Okay. It's a little mini game to figure out what has the new information, and I failed this one.
Fuyusaka-san and I were the only ones who made it. We escaped to Sumire Bridge 16 years into the past. These must be Shiba-kun's memories. Or rather, the other Juro Izumis.
Zozo5002 is saying, I think the Japanese pun is explained in the mystery files. Thank you. Yeah, there has been other examples of that, like when Ogata called Kisaragi Dogface, and there was a whole mystery file dedicated to like that. In America, in English, just sort of like a generic insult, but in Japanese, it has like a different, like it means like sneezing dog or something, like sneezing pug or something. So it's...
Hey, Juro. Let's go home.
There's more to it. Oh, look at his angry eyes. So, we know what happens if we go to the video store, but we do have another option to go home instead.
What? Why the long face? Have another nightmare or something?
Knock it off. I'm not stupid. I know I'm the only one who can see you. Why did you do this? Why did you give me Juro Izumi's memories? Are you trying to turn me back into him?
Don't worry about it. You were never meant to be this way in the first place.
It's not wrong.
What exactly are you?
48Q, QTA, CBA. I already told you, I'm an artificial personality.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Then why don't you watch this video and relax?
I'm not watching it.
See ya. Bye.
You know, we can't have you causing a scene here.
Guess it's about that time.
Your memory needs to be wiped clean. Let me try one more time.
Okay. I think it's also, safe to assume that the videotapes are not actual physical objects, but the part of that that's giving me pause is that other characters also reference watching videos that they're given. So either Q Toshiba takes other forms for the others, or there are actual videotapes. I don't know, I'm a little bit confused about this. And hello to Borlak.
Hey, watch it! She's not here.
Are you looking for someone, Ogata-kun?
Yo, Kurabe. Sure am. Tell me Kisaragi. Got a clue where she went?
Is she really on my side? She wants to change me back into Juro Izumi. Can I trust her?
Well, not if you don't want to be Izumi.
Can't expect you to know.
That it? That's the end? Oh, wow. Okay, we've got a few different options here.
No. Running won't change a thing. Think. Who might know something about this? Fuyusaka-san's absent. What about Yakushiji? Fuyusaka-san's out today. But I feel like she might know something about all this.
Also, Fuyusaka's memories have been coming to her in the form of dreams as opposed to videotapes. And I think it's Shu Amaguchi that's referenced watching videos.
Shiba-kun's not actually human. And not only that, He's been manipulating. It seems his goal is...
Okay.
I wish this was all... Maybe I could ask Amiguchi-kun. On the other hand, it's getting late. He's probably gone home already.
Okay, like, I know cell phones aren't going to be a thing, but landlines are. You just call them up about it.
She knows about Juro Izumi for sure. I should go talk to her. Hopefully she's at the nurse's office.
I gotta say, I would not object to a Persona game that was set in the 1980s Japan.
I need to go to the nurse's office. It's the other way.
The other way that I was thinking that I tried to go before and then said running won't help. Yeah, Borlak, Lady B went to do like a stream yesterday, or at least the starting soon slate was up, but I was getting like a ton of buffering, and I wasn't sure if that got worked out, if it was on our end. I hope everything is going okay with the internet.
Shinonome-senpai? Please, wake up.
Izumi-kun.
No. Don't you remember? I'm Juro Kurabe.
Kurabe.
Please help me. It's Shiba-kun. He's been messing with my memories and replacing them with Juro Izumi's.
Izumi-kun's? That's odd. According to Morimura, his memories were lost for good.
Miss Morimura? Our teacher? What does she have to do with this? I'm talking about Shiba-kun.
Who is Shiba-kun?
Kyuta Shiba. He called himself Personality 48Q. I'm the only one who can see him.
I'm sorry. I don't know anything about that.
Am I going to disappear?
Well, if Izumi-kun's memories were transplanted into you, does that mean you know about his past?
I saw it all in the form of dreams and movies.
What happened in them?
I like Ryoko a lot more when she's cogent. It's low-key distressing to me that, you know, how her story winds up going.
In order to prevent the apocalypse, Fuyusaka-san and I went back to the past. We bombed the facility that was said to be the source of it all. But the police caught us, and we ended up in a shootout.
With Iori Fuyusaka? This is all news to me.
The city was in ruins. I went around killing students, one by one. I wouldn't let any of them get away. Among the dead, I saw people I knew. Like Fuyusaka-san and Yakushiji.
Izumi-kun did that? It can't be. There's no way he would do such a thing.
I forgot to mention. Shiba-kun gives me memories on videotape.
Videotape?
Fuyusaka-san told me they're all real events from the future.
Like what?
I desperately want him to ask her, can you see this thing in my hand? If I hand it to you, can you hold it? Because I don't understand how a fictional memory figment would give him a physical object. But anyway.
If I recall correctly, we were in a big UFO. I made it back.
How did it look, Juro?
Not good. I arrived right in the middle of the invasion. Barely made it back in one piece. I don't think the world had much of a chance. The year was 1985.
Is that a flyer from a movie theater?
Logs indicated shutdown sometime in the Heisei era. But at the time I visited, was right there in Tsutsuji Ward.
Also, note that this character is listed as Chihiro Morimura.
So Sector 4 is in 1985, and Sector 3 is in 2025. That's another 40-year gap.
This machine only lets us travel to specific time periods, all of which are under attack by the invaders.
Why are they showing up in the past?
I have no idea. What do you think, Tsukasa-kun?
We have no record of such an invasion occurring back then. If that's the case, it's inconsistent with history as we know it.
You're right. It was just last year that we were invaded. The year 2104. That was the first and only time. If there were a kaiju attack prior to that, we would have known about it.
We must be dealing with a time paradox.
Maybe something weird happened when they arrived. It could have caused reality to split into parallel universes. We know that kaiju technology allows for time travel. It's not hard to believe that would impact the future in some way.
Hold on. While this device does appear to be a time machine, it may be premature to make such assumptions. An earthquake.
A big one.
Something feels weird about it.
This is bad.
What's wrong? The countdown.
It's reached 0.
Don't tell me. This shaking is...
It's time.
So my best, I just want to pause. My best guess about that counter is that it's the countdown until the kaiju access the... No, we thought that the timer might be the time it would take until the, like the terraforming was done and the planet wherever they are is habitable. But here, the timer has hit 0. So now I'm thinking that it might be the time until the kaiju successfully hijack all the terminals and cause the loop to reset.
Look at this! We're rapidly losing contact with zones of the UFO.
The very Earth's crust is crumbling. This is an unprecedented disaster.
Several areas now report an elevation of below sea level. Is it sinking into the ocean?
At this rate, we'll be going down too.
So this is what the countdown was for. It may not be possible to survive this. We have no choice. We must seek refuge in the past.
What?
Get in the transmitter.
Are you serious? If we do that, we might not ever come back.
And if we stay here, we die.
I gotta say, I'm with Okino on this.
This will need a timer. When it's all set, I'll join you. Please, get to the device.
All right. If you're setting our destination coordinates, let me suggest Sumire Bridge. Amidst the destruction I saw earlier, that bridge was still standing.
Oh, hey, Chihiro.
You heard him. Let's get in.
Okino-kun.
Okay. How much more in do I need to be?
Is something wrong?
It's not letting me select any sectors. I don't understand. My commands aren't working. I need to find a time it'll let us travel to. Stay in the device.
Just hurry, okay?
I've got it. Sector 0. I don't know what year that is, but it's the only destination we can access right now.
Tsukasa-kun, get over here, now!
I can't. It's not letting me set a timer. I'll need to operate it manually. Go on without me.
Tsukasa-kun! Chihiro. I saw the signs in town. We're in 2089 now. We traveled 16 years back in time.
I see. So that's why. Look over there. Across the river. It hasn't been redeveloped yet. No wonder Century Tower isn't there. It wasn't built until 2100. It'll be over 10 years from now before it goes up again.
There's no point in waiting any longer. Let's go. Tsukasa-kun isn't coming back.
Oh, I have questions.
Look. Even the Shikishima State Building is missing.
We have to go. Do you plan on standing here forever?
We can't just leave him! You agree with me, right?
In this era, you and I are still newborns. Even your own mother wouldn't recognize you. Our citizen ID won't be valid here either. We can't purchase anything or use public services. The city may look familiar, but this is the world of 16 years ago. To us, it might as well be a foreign country. But we can't go back. We have no choice but to figure something out.
What are we going to do?
The invasion's going to happen again in 15 years. We need to warn everyone about it.
Will they even believe us?
All we can do is try. And if they don't, we'll take matters into our own hands. No one else knows what's coming. It has to be us. Let's figure out how to get back to the UFO. It should still be buried underground. If we can find it, then...
I get it now. We can save Okino-kun. All we need to do is travel through time again.
I can't say it's impossible. But if we're ever going to do that, we need to make it through today. Let's find ourselves some food and a place to sleep.
You're right.
Shall we? From there, the two of us spent the next few years together, living in society's shadows. Huh. That guy in my dream, he called himself Tsukasa Okino. I feel like we've met somewhere before.
Stay away from me. That incident you just described. It's not one of your lost memories. If it involved rewinding time 16 years with Morimura, then it must have been him.
Who?
So she's talking about Tetsuya Ida. I have a lot of thoughts about this sequence.
He's a time traveler. He's gone back in time over and over again.
A time traveler? That's crazy.
You mean different from me?
The memories you've been seeing are his.
But his name is Juro Izumi. Does that mean he's me from the future?
No, it's a different Juro Izumi. One who came from a lost world. Stay back. I was told he's incredibly dangerous.
So that means my dreams are memories of a lost world? And Shiba-kun is that world's Juro Izumi?
That man has nothing but his consciousness left. He transferred himself into an android and fled.
His consciousness?
Oh my. Looks like Senpai isn't feeling so good.
Shiba-kun!
Man, you've sure got a big mouth.
Stop this!
Oh, come on! Ryoko Shinonome's a freaking weirdo. If you really want to take her word for it, you'll have to face the consequences.
Okay, before we continue, so a couple of things. I want to go over into the memory archives to discover the explanation of the QT Shiba, Q Shiba, whatever it is. Before we do that, Epinomenon is confirming that it's a localization of a Japanese pun, so I want to see that. Jab is saying it's quite common to make imaginary plot points that the author never intended based on circumstantial evidence in the story. The most famous is the idea that Ving Rhames' soul was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction, which is a theory that I haven't heard. And sometimes off-the-wall or unexpected reads on a movie can be a lot of fun. It can be... I'm not so much... into it when people are like, no, for real, this is what that means. But it can be fun to see how people piece together different shreds of evidence to come up with a cohesive whole. One of the best that I ever read was before the finale of Lost. There was, somebody on some website who had really combed through all of the little tiny details that were in the television series Lost and concocted a very compelling presentation on what that person thought was going to happen in Lost and what they thought it all meant. And although it turned out to not be true, I frankly thought that it was a better and more interesting vision for the series than what actually wound up happening. I'm not one of those people that hated the ending of Lost or anything, but yeah, that was a show that invited a lot of conjecture, and a lot of that conjecture turned out to be incorrect. And some of the conjecture I thought was, it's amazing how if you sort of crowdsource imagination, you can get some really cool things, I think as evidenced by the SCP Foundation. Okay, let's go, let's go over here. And so let's read through some of our mystery files. I'm not done, actually before I do that then, because it might be clarified in here. In that scene, we saw Okino transmit Juro and Chihiro, not Iori, Chihiro to Sector 0, at which point they reappeared 16 years in the past. As far as we're aware, Sector 0 is like a holding cell for pure data, and I was surprised to see them simply appear in what they recognize as being 16 years prior, when we know that there's no actual time travel happening. So instead, I feel like what we're learning is that Sector 0 just sort of holds you in abeyance. It sort of holds you in a suspended animation and then maybe spits you back out after the world has been restarted. Because what we're seeing there is those are characters that we now recognize as being Juro Izumi and adult Chihiro Morimura, at the time that they were chronologically 16, and they sort of survive back into the next loop and are kicked back where they still believe that they've been doing time traveling, not sort of being reborn into what other not quite human form that they take after the loop resets. So we have a lot more information than they have, but we also still learn something about what it's like to go through Sector 0 and then reappear after the world has been rebuilt. So yeah, it was a very interesting scene. Let's see what else we can learn. Okay, Kurabe's memories are being manipulated by Kyuta Shiba through videotapes, but Shiba is quick to wipe his memory whenever he gets too close to the truth. He's not very good at it though, is he? Because Juro keeps remembering the fact that he's not real. I guess not everything can be wiped. In order to raise funds, 2188 Morimura sold nanomachine technology on the black market, which led to the infection on the surface and the end of humanity. Okay, the end of humanity is something new. We got the sense that Earth might have become unlivable, but it wasn't clear to me if that was a plague or everybody turned into dogs or like what it was. I guess all of humanity was wiped out by nanomachine technology, and that's how things got kicked off. I've also been thinking about that since the last episode. Which versions of Chihiro Morimura know that that's what happened? How much of her activities are motivated by the guilt of knowing that she is the cause of the eradication of humanity in its original form? Or is that simply not known to any of the versions of Chihiro Morimura that we see? Because this game, if nothing else, has a lot of variance on what the characters actually know about the truth. And everything that we learn is only from comparing different things that different people learned. Carolina says, wait, Lost ended? Jav is saying, yes, I was in a part of a group doing that for the early years of The Blacklist. It's good fun. I put together a timeline of all the events. In like the television series, The Blacklist, boy, I watched some of that and fell off of it. I had some issues with The Blacklist, but we'll cover that at another time. When the kaiju appear in 1985, Sekigahara rides his motorcycle to the battlefield where the 12 Sentinels are gathered. He activates the enhanced first-gen model, Sentinel number 11. The assassin A. Sekigahara was trapped in a room by Morimura while infiltrating Sector 4, but managed to escape by setting off a bomb at the power generator. He then seeks out Morimura to finish her off himself. And we don't know as of this update if he succeeded. We only know that that was the direction things were headed. Not a fan of A. Sekigahara in that particular moment. When the kaiju appear in 1985, Miura takes back and activates Sentinel number 19 with the help of Hijiyama. At that moment, he decides that he will protect everyone he holds dear, even if it costs him his life. And we do know, like, that's consistent with his personality, because we know in other senses he does lose his life and becomes BJ. Back in 1944, when Okino called himself Kiriko Doji, he operated on Takatoshi Hijiyama and Kitaro Miura to ensure their synchronicity with the Sentinels. In doing so, he implanted a linking component into their heads. Every once in a while, the mystery files reveal something that I didn't know, and I didn't know that at all. That's completely new information to me. All right, so here's Chihiro, young Chihiro. She's responsible for the murder of Ms. Morimura. Yeah, isn't she just? Don't ask her what's in that bag. You're not going to like the answer. Morimura learns from a 2188 log that the 2188 Morimura is responsible for the end of humanity. Fearing that the others will discover the truth, she discreetly deletes the log. Moreover, when Morimura links up to the artificial satellite in orbit, she finds out that the stability of the facility, which is responsible for maintaining the world, is at its breaking point. She then decides to set Operation Aegis into motion to completely wipe out the kaiju, even if it means stranding them all in a dead world. Boy, she talk about a character with very, very few good choices to make. Like, it's a real Sophie's choice of allow us all to die, or allow us all to live long enough to die in orbit above a dead world. Okay, an artificial personality, 48Q, that only Kurabe is able to see. Shiba claims that he's Juro Izumi and that his memories are already inside Kurabe's head. In Japanese, 48Q is a play on the words of Shiba's name. 4 can be read as she, 8 can be read as hachi, and Q sound similar. Ha also sounds that can be turned into ba due to the usage of diacritic marks called daikuten. With this, shi, ba, q makes 48Q. QTA CBA also plays on his name. Q and ta can be read as Qta, and C and ba as Siba. Combining them creates a reading close to his full name. So here is a very thorough thank you to both Epinomenon and Zozo. Here's a very detailed explanation on why the pun doesn't work in English, but would make sense in Japanese. And I'm glad that they left it the same. I'm glad that they just sort of like brought it over and then explained how it would be clever if we spoke it in its original language. And thank you very much to the follow for Bakuside. Hello to Grumpy. Can I get a free new iPhone by trading in my 15-year-old Razor? Oh, I can, he says. I don't understand how that works for the carrier. The math makes no sense. Unsure. And then Epinomenon says, his name in Japanese is just 48Q. They added QTA CBA just to make it more sense in English. Okay. It's like, I'm not going to get the joke, but I recognize that I would with a different frame of information. He saved his conscience to Tetsuya Ida into Sector 0 to prepare for the next loop. Yeah. Also, I don't see how this would make sense given all of the information that we have, but is there any possibility that Juro Izumi or the 426 version of Juro Izumi, the version that is just a personality bouncing around between androids, either is actually Tetsuya Ida or a version of Juro Izumi who's been so thoroughly corrupted through memory overwrites by Tetsuya Ida that he might as well just be Tetsuya Ida. I'm now watching for scenes of that. It's unknown who injected the interlocutors into the 15 students, although I feel it was probably Megumi. Furthermore, more than 80% of the interlocutor processes are devoted to an unknown function. The decode uses a relatively minor portion within the remaining 20%. When all the self-defense systems in the terminal are activated, everyone in the city will disappear. Yeah, and like go to Sector 0. I think that's where they're disappearing too. The decode's function is to maintain a link to one commander and access 3 locations at regular intervals: Universal Control, Automated Factory in Sector 1, which is where they get their reinforcements, and a satellite in orbit. The headquarters of the Special Investigations Unit is located on the top floor of the building next to the I don't know how to pronounce that police station. I'm sure it was said and I've forgotten. All right, this is where Colony Satellite Orbit. This is where Project Ark began for the sake of continuing the human species, but is also the source of the nanomachine infection that wiped out humanity. In 2188, A. Sekigahara infiltrated Sector 4 and set off a bomb on his power generator in order to assassinate Morimura. Oh god. So this is all new for Artificial Satellite in Orbit. And look at the little picture over there on the left. An artificial satellite that orbits around a planet, which I'm increasingly think is planet Earth. After looking at the 2188 logs and figuring out a way to link to the satellite in orbit, Morimura learned about the facility. Morimura states that the artificial satellite is orbiting the real world. This is where the automated factory in Sector 1 is pulling the blueprint data for the Demos from, an artificial satellite that presides over terraforming, the second phase of interstellar development. It controls the heavy machinery for planetary development and adjusts air temperature. This is where Miyuki Inaba exists. During the 2164 Sentinel infection incident, Inaba ends up shifting outside the world and over to the artificial satellite, where she comes from across the 2188 data and learns the truth about the world. So, yeah, sorry, I didn't speak very precisely there. There's the colony ship, which I guess is in orbit, and then separately the artificial satellite. I guess these are different concepts. Also, although it says here colony and satellite orbit, this may be referring to the 2188 version, and this colony ship might actually be on the surface of the planet. It would help explain things for, like, they're still living in domes, but where there's sunlight, like how they control the rise and fall of the sun. If it's just parked on the planet's surface, it would just appear like a regular sunrise and sunfall for everybody. All right, unlike the other 5 sectors, this one is unique. Sector 0 doesn't take up any space. Since it's unaffected by loops, Morimura and Tetsuya Ida use it as an evacuation site where they stored their own data. A facility that houses the entire world, look at the little line drawing over there, its stability is reaching its breaking point. Once Sector 4, 1985, gets taken over by Kaiju, the facility will reset, preventing any further loops. If this were to occur, the reset would wipe all data, including any memories stored in Sector 0. The lives that everyone has experienced through time would cease to exist for good. Now, whether or not it has the capacity to generate a new human population, I don't know. It's It's equally likely in my mind that A, it would, and then this cast of characters would make exactly the same set of decisions and have the same experiences and the same mistakes over again, or B, so just trapping them in an endless loop from which they can never escape, or B, no, everybody's just gone. Everybody's just completely wiped from existence, and now it's just a dead ship maintaining colony space for no one. Grumpy is saying new line equals $15 more a month for 30 months, $450. New phone is $800. They must get a massive discount from the manufacturer. Yeah, I would assume so, because what Apple and Samsung and the rest want is for you to be invested in their ecosystem, to buy their apps. That's where all that money comes from. These are the numbers for the message service in 1985, which Ei Sekigahara entrusted to Morimura before he lost his memories. True. Tetsuya Ida was the one who instructed Sekigahara to kill Morimura. I feel like we had learned that at some point and then forgot about it. Okay, so that's all our mystery files, and a bunch of chat about it. Let's go back in, complete Yuki Takamiya's A Conscious Criminal event, which we already did at some point because we finished her story. And let's hit it. Juro Kurabe went to Shinonome for help and discovered the truth about Shiba. The confusion sends Kurabe's consciousness further into darkness.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, my God. Huge raid. Wait, we have to pause. And we can pause right here. Hello to Salamander, Jelly Buns, Darkham, Bugs, Wood. Hello to everybody coming over. You are joining us in process in 13 Sentinels. First and foremost, welcome everybody. Secondly, if you choose to join us, understand that you will not understand what's happening in the story because none of us understand what's happening in the story. But it's got a great art style, and we do check in at regular intervals to try to keep things straight. And as we go forward, we're hoping to unlock a new round of combat missions as well that probably look different than you might imagine. All of this is to say that 13 Sentinels is an extremely ambitious game that it feels like it would be very difficult to spoil, but if you like Japanese anime style visual novels with a little bit of very light like turn-based or real-time strategy stuff to it, and I know that those are different things, but I'm not sure how to characterize the combat in this, that's what we're playing. I'd hate to spoil it for anybody, but boy, is it a trip. And also, I'll just say that I know that Salamander has already acquired this game and is planning to stream it himself. So there's a lot to look forward to. Secondly, and probably finally before we continue, Salamander, I really hope that you are feeling better. I got a chance to check in briefly on the stream, and it looks like things are on the mend, but overall, I hope that your weekend has been okay, that you've been able to get some rest, and it was a very, very fun watch party that we all had in Mia's Discord yesterday, so I enjoyed that. Carol Luna says, it's ambitious, the devs, and ambitious by the one playing it. Yeah, it's ambitious by the devs, he says. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. And Stand Up Shifter says, how's it going? Going well over here, and in terms of the game, boy, there's a lot to keep track of. So we're going to jump in. I would, honest to God, I would attempt to summarize what's been happening so far, but it would take 45 minutes to begin to touch on it. Suffice it to say, humanity's having a bad time. Kaiju come down every once in a while and break things apart. And also there's not quite time travel, not quite alternate dimensions, and not quite time loops. So there's a bunch going on in here. Oh, he's so done with it too.
Hey, Juro. Let's go home.
Okay, to bring people up to speed with what's happening here, this boy does not exist. He is not a real person. He's a ghost or a figment. He's not actually either of those things, but they're the best example that I have right now.
What? Why the long face? Have another nightmare or something?
Knock it off. I'm not stupid. I know I'm the only one who can see you.
Oh, Jellybuns is is being very kind and raising an interesting point. If you stick around, don't forget to delete the refer equals raid at the end of the URL so that your views count. Jellybuns, I rarely, actually, I don't think I've ever pointed that out. But yeah, that's super nice of you to say. Yeah, when people get rated over, the views don't count towards the channel unless they go up and remove that. I would... Like my thought process is if people like and choose to follow, then the next time their views will count. But if anybody chooses to do that, I'm certainly not gonna turn it down. I do try to make a point to do that myself when I raid over so that the view will count. But thank you very much for pointing that out. Hello to Bakuside. And I hate that Twitch does that, so I make people know. Yeah, no, it's very much appreciated. Also, Carolina is saying in 45 minutes you get nowhere. Yeah, no, you're very correct. So, I'm not sure that I want to talk to him. Let's check our map. Oh, yes, I do, because we need to go out into the hallway. Can I just leave? Also, we can see here that I can talk about Okino to somebody. Maybe him. Yes.
That guy in my dream. He called himself Tsukasa Okino. I feel like we've met somewhere before.
Okay. So there's a red square up there at the top right that I'm thinking about, like, who do I talk to about this?
You're meeting up at the same place again? Pretty much, yeah. See ya. Bye.
Well, let me talk to her first.
So, Atari-san, do you have a minute?
No answer whatsoever. So what can I... Oh, yeah.
It's about Kisaragi-san.
Usami-chan?
Where does she always go?
Why do you ask?
Ogata-kun was looking for her.
Oh, really? Maybe Nenji-kun likes her.
So, do you know?
She goes to Tokisaka Shrine. I think she's waiting for someone there.
Tokisaka Shrine. Is that the one that's supposedly haunted? I've been there before. Something happened there. I can't remember.
Oh, wait!
Yes?
Please don't tell Nenji-kun. The person she's meeting is a boy, so... Oh, no.
And again, the story's very complicated, but the person that she's meeting might be Okino. Okay, so I can't grab my bag, which probably means that I can't leave yet. No, I gotta go talk to this guy.
So it wasn't fully wiped.
Jellybuns, thank you very, very much for the lurk, and I hope the chicken nuggets are good.
They say the shrine by our school is haunted by ghosts. Kisaragi-san's told me a bit about it. She seems interested in the shrine for some reason.
Also, I hope that Factorio went well. I forgot to mention that, but I know that's what Samalander was playing because we had checked in on it earlier. Yeah, so there's no bright green up at the top right. I don't have to think about any of these things.
Tell me the truth. This isn't about my lost memories, is it? You're not trying to restore them. You're giving me someone else's.
What are you talking about? They're Juro's memories.
In other words, yours. The other Juro Izumi.
You know, this one's 3 times older than you.
What exactly are you?
48Q,
No.
QTA, CBA. I already told you, I'm an artificial personality.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Then why don't you watch this video and relax?
I'm not watching it.
Also, his
You know,
voice sounds to me
We
like
can't have you causing a scene here.
Amaguchi's,
Your memory
and
needs to be
therefore
wiped
Tetsuya's.
Let me try one more time.
Okay. He's out of here. Can I go now? Yes, I can.
Hey, watch it! She's not here.
Are you looking for someone, Ogata-kun?
Yo, Kurabe. Sure am. Tell me Kisaragi. Got a clue where she went?
This time I actually do.
That guy.
Oh, whoops.
He called himself...
Sorry, here we go.
Hey, I think I do have an idea. I heard she went to Tokisaka Shrine.
Huh? For real? The heck is she thinking?
Wait. I'll come with you. There's something I want to check.
Be my guest.
This street. I've been here before. I think I saw something. The memories are starting to come back, but I can't remember any specifics.
Where we live in the United States, I can't think of a single place I would go that would just have sort of an outdoor vending machine like this.
Ogata.
A motel someplace.
Hey, Hijiyama. You remember all that shit you put me through? Cause I sure as hell do.
I see how it is. You came looking for another black eye.
Try it. See what happens.
Hey guys, also here.
Ogata-kun, aren't we here to look for Kisaragi-san?
Yeah, okay, fine. Don't have time for this.
What?
Sorry to disappoint. We'll dance some other time.
And that's your decision to make, huh? Selfish bastard.
The hell are you doing here anyways?
I'm looking for Okino.
What happened to him?
This is just what I heard from Sawatari-san. But according to her, Kisaragi-san's been going out to meet some guy lately.
She what? Just the two of them?
So this Okino you're looking for, is that Tsukasa Okino?
What, you know him?
Not exactly. That's just the name I heard in my dream. But it's probably the same person.
So that's who Kisaragi ran off with. Got a feeling I know where they went, too.
What? How?
She mentioned something about it.
By the way, do you know how to work this time travel business?
Oh. You don't know either?
I feel like I've had that exact conversation as Ogata, except I don't remember that Juro was here when he's interacting with Hijiyama about it. Okay. So there's got to be something else to talk to or trigger here.
It was right here. Something happened. But what was it? Oh yeah. I carried something over to the dumpster.
Was it wet or difficult to manage? Wrap it in plastic? Oh no.
What's up?
There's a corpse in there.
Who's kidding?
The hell? No way. Cut the crap. Whoa! Isn't that... Hey, give me a hand. Sure looks like a corpse. But this thing's a robot.
It's Tamao-san. Why? Why does it look like her?
Tamao.
Tamao Kurabe.
Wait, what?
My grandma?
Oh, this is so weird for him. So this is the Tamao android that was pretending to be a high school student working with Yuki. I don't remember her name right now. Yakushiji, I think. No, that's not right. But Yuki. Yuki Takamiya, that's who it was. And then I think got infected by 426, or was revealed to be 426. Boy, there's so much to this story. Also, Epinomenon is confirming that this scene did happen in Hijiyama's route, and that Juro was in the background. Yeah, I just don't... I'd say, like, this seems very familiar, but I can't... I know they, like, hid in the bushes, and they certainly didn't do this.
This is...
I like the not now option. Yeah, hold on. Hold that thought. And
It's
to go
dark out already.
visit that vending machine.
Well, that's okay. This was worth the detour. I finally got my hands on that movie. Now I just need to get home and watch it.
Oops. Nope, go down.
I'm sorry it had to come to this. I should never have let you out of the underground.
Just as I thought, you've returned. If only I hadn't spared you.
I won't let anyone interfere with my escape.
You must think you're handling this situation well. But Juro is well aware.
I doubt it.
The reason he deleted your memories at school was to hide the log from you.
Quit stalling. Morimura must have arranged this. What? She's not human. Is this a doll? That's odd. If that's the case, then who was talking to him?
Juro Kurabe, don't move a muscle. Or would you like your skull to be crushed? This body will not last for much longer. I approximate about 5 minutes. But that should be plenty. I need only enter your nanomachines. I thought I was done for, but it seems today's my lucky day.
Hey, what are you doing? Juro.
What?
This is so wild.
Who are you?
Come on, man. Did you forget your best buddy? I'm afraid. That's not very nice.
Yeah. Sorry. I remember now. You're... Shiba-kun.
As Jelly Button say, I walk away for 5 minutes and come back to non-waifu robot girls. Oh, this this story goes places, let me tell you.
Wait, hold on. I was attacked. I need to call the police.
Attacked? Maybe you really did go nuts.
Huh?
Are you telling me this doll attacked you? Where'd you get that thing anyway? Don't just leave this thing out in the street. What if it causes a car accident? You'd be in deep shit, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's just dump it in the trash.
Wait. Something's just...
Oh, snap out of it. Come on, I'll help you get rid of the thing. Just pick it up already.
All right.
Yeah, for a few reasons you wouldn't want to be seen with that out and about town. Okay, so some more mystery files got unlocked, but we'll continue on. So now we know exactly where Shiba came from. Shiba is an infection in the nanomachines that were already inside Juro, and all of the evidence points to it being 426. What's my best guess here? That after the confrontation on Sumeri Bridge, the Tamao android clawed itself up out of the river, had that confrontation with A. Sekigahara, and then everything that we just saw happened there. So that's why they never found the body of the android. It was actually in a dumpster outside the shrine. What's their pickup schedule? Over how many days does this whole story take place? Juro Kurabe recalled a memory from the past during his visit to Tokisaka Shrine with Nenji Ogata. Kyuta Shiba was the one who transferred from the android to Kurabe.
Me?
All right, let's hit it. I think I'm betting that this is going to be his last story, but there might be one more chapter after this. Also, now it explains like why he's
Juro.
like just sort of lurking in
Let's
the
go
shadows. Comes up afterwards. So, actually, nope. See, we've got at least two different ways. So, with this Tsukasa Okino path, we still can do that, and then we've also got one other option there. But what is this, do you suppose? I assume we have to finish going out into the hallway first, but... Okay, Kisaragi and Miwako are already gone. I do have a new thing to think about.
That guy in my dream. He called himself Tsukasa Okino.
And I feel like... Yep, we've already got that.
As Shinonome-senpai told me earlier, there's a second Juro Izumi from another world. He transferred his consciousness into an android. So that must have been what I saw. But still, why did it look just like my grandma when she was younger?
Juro, that's actually a very, very good question, and not one that I can answer right now. Okay, I think we gotta go talk to him.
What?
Okay. Oh, no, that's right. He's gotta leave. Yeah, I'm just making sure there's no other topics that I can talk about. Okay.
I remember now. You live inside me. That day at the shrine, you jumped out of that robot and possessed me.
What do you think I am, a ghost? I had nowhere else to go. If it were up to me, I would have picked a more welcoming host.
Tell me the truth. This isn't about my lost memories, is it? You're not trying...
No. Your memory needs to be wiped clean.
You know, you keep saying that, but then not doing it. So I'm not sure that he's as adroit with the memory wiping as he wants to make it out to be. So I'm still... Yeah, go out into the hallway, and then we're looking for one of these options. Interesting. Ogata's not here this time. The nurse's office. I don't think so. We already went there, didn't we? Yeah. Oops.
Miss Morimura. Chihiro Morimura. That's right. She's the one I saw in my dream. Excuse me.
Kurabe-kun. Is something wrong? You look pale.
I take it this is the first time Jelly Buns has made the acquaintance of Ms. Morimura. Yeah, of all the characters in the entire thing, one character has a more exaggerated design than the others, and it tends to distract from the story content and the scenes in a way that I don't think serves the game very well. But after like 20 plus episodes, we just sort of like roll with it at this point.
Tell me the truth. I'm actually Juro Izumi, aren't I? The way I am now is something you created.
What's this all of a sudden?
I get it now. The woman who keeps showing up in my dreams. The one I saw on Sumire Bridge. It's not Fuyusaka-san. It's you. Chihiro Morimura.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Here we go.
Have you been aware this whole time that Shiba-kun was inside of me? Or rather, Juro Izumi was.
You talk too much. You think you can just walk in here and screw everything up? I'm not afraid to shut your mouth.
Kurabe-kun? Kurabe-kun.
Okay.
Is she really on my side? She wants to change me back into Juro Izumi. Can I trust her?
Jellybun says that the exaggerated features make it into a room 5 minutes before she does. What do we...
If the woman from my dream is actually our teacher, then Tsukasa Okino must be real too. Where have I seen him before?
So I guess part of his memories is being wiped, because otherwise he would... No. I'm going to take it back. Although he talked about Tsukasa Okino with Ogata and Hijiyama, they also didn't appear to know who that was. Okay.
Kurabe-kun.
Can I shout over to her my questions? Or do I have to leave now? I think I have to leave now. Bye. I'm not going to the nurse's office now. Let's head to the
That's
break
right.
area.
There was a guy standing by the vending machines earlier. He looked just like Tsukasa Okino. Hey, do you have a minute? You're Tsukasa Okino, right?
You must be mistaken.
You even sound like him. You were in that UFO with Juro Izumi, right?
You're not making any sense. Sorry, but I don't have time for this. If you'll excuse me.
Wait! The UFO wasn't the only time. I know I've met you somewhere else. That's right. I remember now.
Stand right there. I'll continue this conversation after a quick flashback. One loop ago.
Prisoner E426, face forward. The drug has been administered. The perp cannot fight back. Do not be alarmed. It is safe to enter. Prisoner E426, look up while we're speaking to you. Or would you rather bear the brunt of the electric chair?
So this man's the culprit?
He's a murderer. He bombed Shikishima, killing countless people. We managed to catch him, but his identity is still unknown. Furthermore, his testimony makes no sense. That's why I've requested your assistance. The name's Onishi. I'm in charge of this investigation. I appreciate your help. Mr. Tsukasa Okino.
Tsukasa-kun.
Take a good look at him. Do you know this man?
No, I'm afraid I've never seen him before.
All right then. Your biometrics lead me to believe you're being honest with us.
Why did you bring me here?
Well, we used a truth serum on the guy. He started saying your name over and over. He also mentioned a student by the name of Chihiro Morimura. This is her photo. Do you recognize her?
No.
We'll be requesting her cooperation soon enough. But it'll have to wait until next week. She's currently out of the country. In any case, thank you for joining us today. I may ask for your presence again if any new info turns up.
Of course.
You are free to go. Follow the signs back to the waiting room. Do not be alarmed. The perp cannot fight back. Mr. Juro Izumi. Take a good look at him. Do you know this man?
How would I? All I know is he's a terrorist bomber.
Well, we took a look at your DNA. The two of you are a perfect match. It was quite a surprise.
What?
There's a distinct possibility that one of you is a clone.
That's ridiculous. What does he have to say about it?
According to his testimony, he is in fact you from the future. As for his motive, he claims he had to commit this crime to prevent the emergence of kaiju.
Kaiju?
Huh? Excuse me for a moment. What is it? We're in the middle of an investigation. What? An evacuation order? It's on the news?
Kaiju.
Do I remember correctly that Onishi, is that his name? He's Detective Columbo, right?
Looks like he's awake.
Perfect. I'm almost done.
What's going on?
I have no idea at this point. How would he have arrived in the Animus chair? He was talking to Okino at the break room? Okay, whatever.
Hey, what is this?
Calm down, please. High blood pressure generates noise in the scan.
Tsukasa Okino.
So this happened during like Hijiyama's story as well. When these characters are sort of like reliving the same sequence of events over and over again, is that always when they're in an Animus chair? Has Okino done this with every single protagonist? We may not have answers to this right now, but for those of you joining, this like headband that he has on works like an Animus from Assassin's Creed, where it has him relive, or it has the potential to have him relive an event in his life over and over and over again to try to uncover secret or coded information that he may not have been able to recognize at the first go around. And I'm just trying to put together, and maybe we'll get into here in a second, has he been in the chair through all of our time with Juro, or like just this most recent adventure? Like, and we'll just have to ask.
I remember now. I was attacked out of nowhere.
Sorry about that.
It was the only way. This isn't the most welcoming place, is it? I can't imagine you would have come willingly.
Still could have asked.
You're Tsukasa Okino, aren't you? I saw you in my dream and you got left behind.
I knew there was something odd about you. But that dream of yours is even more surprising than I expected. Juro Izumi, shifting in cycles. There's only one person those memories could have come from. I'm glad I looked into this. To think he'd seek refuge within Juro himself.
Yeah, it really would be an out-of-body, in-body experience.
Do you know him?
We call him 426. As of now, he exists as sheer consciousness. That is to say, he lives in your injected nanomachines. At some point, he got in and took over the system area. Go ahead and ask him yourself.
Shiba-kun.
So this is the guy. He's not quite what I imagined.
Don't be deceived. He can alter his appearance however he pleases.
You guys can see him?
Also, Simlin is calling it an other body experience. Yeah, a little bit like John Malkovich going into John Malkovich.
He's under my control now. He can't hurt you anymore.
Jeez, Juro. Why you gotta be so obtuse?
Tell us the purpose of your disguise.
He's trying to take over my mind.
Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not the one who wanted that. Chihiro Morimura is.
Our teacher?
She wanted to transplant my memory backups into you. Whatever she could do to match your personality with mine. But Juro Kurabe didn't like the idea. She created a new personality. The one you have now.
But you were using videotapes to alter my memories.
Yeah, well, the backups weren't meshing with your simulated personality. You almost had a breakdown, man. So I decided to turn him into something a little more concrete. Something your current self would understand. You should thank me for saving your ass.
Somehow I find that hard to believe.
Why did you try to help me?
Well, if Morimura's plan did work out, there'd just be another copy of me running around. Besides, I don't want to be left watching over your unstable mess.
I won't tolerate being used any longer. I'm sick of it.
426.
For better or worse, she's given up on the Sentinel project. Her interest in Juro Kurabe has waned.
But the Sentinel project is the only option we have.
Wrong. Sentinels can't save us alone.
Then what can? You're talking as if you know the answer.
I do. I've found an effective means for our survival. Would you like to hear it?
So, to bring everybody, all of our visitors up to speed, Sentinels are big robots. Pacific Rim, big robots. So, as far as we know, what he's about to say is that the most effective means to ensure the survival is to kill everybody that has the nanomachines in them. That appears to be what he thinks is going to happen. Which raises my question, why would Chihiro Morimura want to overwrite nice guy Juro Kurabe with bad guy Jiro Izumi, given the fact that she didn't feel particularly good about his plan to simply murder everyone who's capable of piloting a Sentinel? I'm not sure why she would have wanted what he says she wanted.
What we call the UFO? I know who programmed it. It was a certain someone named Tsukasa Okino, back in 2188.
2188?
It's hard to believe from looking at you now. But he was quite the sloppy programmer. When he designed the environment management system, he borrowed a portion of it from something else. That particular portion contains the D code. It's what's summoning the kaiju. That part of the code was never supposed to be accessed. Well, it was.
Where was this code reused from?
It was a little outdated, even for its time. But it's a little sim game based on mighty kaiju daimos.
A Daimos game?
You're telling me a video game has control over the automated factories? That's how the kaiju are being produced?
Where do you think the name Daimos came from? It's not a coincidence, you know. Up until now, we've been forced to play a game we can't win. But just imagine. What if we gained access to the greater system? We've had limited control over it so far. If we fix that, we'll be able to fight on an equal playing field. Think about it. Each time we destroy an enemy, we'll get some kind of meta prize. Like scoring points. With those, we can use the automated factories to strengthen our Sentinels.
Or you could turn them off!
Let's just call them meta chips for now.
Oh my god! This is the stupidest plan in the whole world. if you gain access to the crater system, you could turn off the factories that are producing the kaiju, and then you don't need meta chips. You simply need to stomp them out so that they no longer are reproducing. Why? What? This, oh my god, this second plan is like, what if instead of winning the war, we just gave it so that our soldiers got experience points for fighting the war? It's... I'm sure there's more to it, but this is a very weird idea. And hello,
I still
Dougler.
can't trust you.
Sorry.
Fine, leave what you want. I don't need your help anymore. Sorry for wasting your time.
Do you have any proof of your claims?
There was a log on it. It's gone.
You're putting the fate of humankind's last colony in a video game?
That's it, Hijiyama. You saw the log, didn't you?
Hijiyama-kun.
Okay, quick pause here. Dougler, thank you very, very much for the raid. Dougler's coming in and saying, always remember to save, please God save. I've made that mistake myself, but I'm worried, did you lose some progress or something? Because, yeah, I think anybody who plays a game at some point has that, oh no, how much have I just lost? But yeah, we are in the midst of 13 Sentinels. I hope you're having a great Sunday so far. I want to make this quick, but yes, we did see the log, and I guess it was in Hijiyama's story, where adult Okino in the year 2188 said, oh, in terms of designing the cityscape, I just grabbed the plans off of this old kaiju game. LOL, don't worry about it. Like, kaiju aren't real, so it's not like the kaiju are going to show up. I honestly thought that she just, like, that Okino just brought, like, the maps over. Like, hey, here's a detailed map. It would be like rebuilding Paris based on, again, a Assassin's Creed Unity, for example. Well, it's got lots of buildings and stuff, so it would make sense to use that as a template, because it's just sort of like stamp it down and then make the interiors real, and a lot of your work, you know, at least it's a place to start from. And I sort of thought that that's what Okino had done. Apparently, no, they just like copied over whole sections of the code, including where the Daimos would go to, the kaiju would go to attack. It's unconscionably lazy.
What was that log all about?
You want to find out? Go help that idol who's stuck in orbit. Well, it's about that time. I need to get going.
What?
Don't worry. He can't do a thing.
Maybe. But a guy like him probably planned ahead.
Oh, give the boy a prize! You can be surprisingly sharp at times. Hijiyama.
Okino!
Sorry.
You're...
Juro! Thank goodness. I made it in time.
Yeah, thanks to me talking their ears off. Did you walk through tar to get here?
I'm doing exactly as you told me. Foul-mouthed cat.
Did you say cat?
Don't worry about erasing his memory.
What? But then...
What are you talking about?
Let's go.
Relax. I won't erase your memories either.
So it's her. She's the one who's been cooperating with him.
This must seem so confounding to people who are seeing this for the first time.
Respond, please. I need you to open it. Can you hear me? Loud and clear, Yakushiji. Hijiyama, open the B2 airlock. I'm afraid I can't do that. You're well aware of the reason. We're not infected. The vitals detected by your suit tell me otherwise.
I'm so sorry, Yakushiji.
Fine, I may be infected, but my daughter isn't. Please check her.
It's true, she's not showing any signs of infection just yet.
So you'll let her in, right? Please!
Unfortunately, she is likely still in the incubation period.
Just save my daughter, I'm begging you!
It's not a risk we can afford to take.
You and I, we're comrades, aren't we? We've been hell and back together. If it's the last thing I ask of you, please, Ichiyama.
I'm sorry, Yakushiji. You must understand. Ichiyama, patch me through to airlock control.
Major Izumi.
Izumi-san, I had a feeling you would say that. So I've sealed the airlock on my end. I can't allow you to infect this colony. Don't jump to conclusions. I'm the one getting out. I'll grab a shuttle and retrieve his daughter. We'll give it 24 hours. If she does turn out to be infected, then we'll never return. Simple as that. I can't accept this. It's an order, Ichiyama. Sorry, Yakushiji. You're going to have to leave your daughter with me. In the meantime, you'll need to return to the pod you came here in. Are you alright with that?
I trust you with her life. My daughter. My Megumi.
I'll protect her at all costs. I promise. No matter what happens, I intend to fulfill that promise.
Just as you said. A kaiju attacked, like in that movie. So we'll do what we have to do. Get in the robots and fight. Our fate was sealed a long time ago. That log from 2188. I get it now. That must have been an important memory of yours.
Yeah. The log itself may be gone, but I do remember what it was about. And as long as you have my memories, I don't need to explain a thing, do I?
Are you really okay with this?
Of course not. I want in on the action too.
And yet, you're entrusting it all to me.
Even though they kinda turned you into a sissy, in the end you're still Juro, just like me. I've accepted it. We've all gotta play with the hands we're dealt. Fuyusaka's not gonna be able to handle him alone. Go for it, Juro.
What's going to happen to you?
Piloting a Sentinel takes a hell of a lot of brain power. If your nanomachines are focused on that, there won't be much processing power left. In other words, I won't be able to talk to you anymore.
So
But
it's
you've got my memories, right?
win-win then.
You know what needs to be done. The rest is up to you.
You're right. I'll do it. I guess I'll be going then.
Right. Put your game face on, Juro. We've taken turns for the last time. Try not to get a game over.
Sentinel number 13. Activate.
So a surprisingly touching conclusion to the story of someone who is being relentlessly bullied and manipulated by a personality overwrite inside their own mind. It's like at the end of that, I do not feel any warmer towards Shiba, based on the fact that it's one of those classic cases that comes up in fiction where if Shiba had just announced himself and talked regular words, he had a compelling case to make. And instead, he used a whole bunch of manipulation and bullying and memory overwrites and everything else to try to get his way. And I mean, I guess I understand it, that it's a matter of like self-preservation for him. Like, I don't want to be eradicated. I don't want to be wiped clean. And like he says there at the end, that he came to grips with it. But it's just hard for me to get past what if you hadn't done any of those things, made yourself known, and just said directly, listen, kaiju, video game, meta chips. I mean, like, I have to say, at no point in this game was I ever thinking, oh, I wonder where experience points came from. I wonder what the in-universe justification is for the fact that when we kill an enemy, we get meta chips that allow us to upgrade the characters. I had just simply accepted that as being the way video games work. So the fact that they chose to work that into the narrative is unnecessary, not unwelcome, just like, oh, okay. Sure, that's the way that we decided to go there. The other thing is the clarification on something that isn't surprising, but also I did not predict it, that Fluffy the Talking Cat is just another presentation of 426, otherwise known as future, slightly sinister, Juro Izumi. That, as far as we can tell now, Shiba, like 426 appears to Juro Izumi as Shiba, his best friend, childhood friend that nobody can see, but also to Megumi as Fluffy the Talking Cat, a transfer that makes perfect sense when you remember that they're living together. So it would make, you know, Shiba could sort of jump back and forth between the two of them anytime they looked at each other, as far as we can tell, which again just sort of makes sense, and was able to jump over to become Fluffy because Megumi was standing in the shadows. Also, I don't think it will never ever not make me laugh when one character just straight up like pops out and shoots someone in the game, because there's so much dialogue and consideration and retrospection that when somebody's like, ah, gun, it gets me every time. I really like it. Sorry. So, Yakushiji, I was trying to place the name. So, what we saw there at the end, which is, again, for people joining, it might sound a little bit weird, but 2188 is actually deeply in the past for these characters due to the way that it works. So in 2188, Megumi's father brought her to the space station. She was not infected. He was, with like nanomachine virus or whatever. So he had to go like jettison off into space, but turned his young daughter over to adult Juro Izumi, the 2188 version, who, thank God, had a sensible reaction to this. Like, wait, we don't have to arbitrarily choose between murdering this girl or letting her in to infect everybody else potentially. What if we put her into a quarantine shuttle and then brought her in after a day or two? We make sure that she's okay. And you know what? I'll even volunteer to do it. And you know what they didn't show? He also could have worn a spacesuit to keep himself safe. There's ways to do this. People never think about this in fiction. It always kind of drives me nuts. And here they did. And I like that. So, let's take a quick look. Dougler was saying always remember to save. He did it with his latest art project. He thought he saved it, but it turned out didn't, so now he had to redo what he did at the end of the stream yesterday. I feel you on that, especially when you're doing a creative work. Like for me, it's writing. If I ever have to recreate something that I've done, it hurts. I don't like doing it. Control S as your friend says Jelly Buns. I also have autosave on clip. Then Jelly Buns took note of the talking cat. Yes, the talking cat is, believe it or not, and I always feel the need to say, yes, Talking Cat is a real character in this game. It is a cat who talks, who at one point, by the way, presented as a demon. Like, Talking Cat basically intimated that he was like a crossroads demon with a deal with Megumi. Hey, you do what I say. You're making a deal with the devil, but it's one that's going to work out to your benefit. Which again is like, hey, Shiba, why not just tell everybody straight? Why are you making up these elaborate lies? And like, there might be a further explanation. It's not something that I understand right now, but it injects a lot of mystery into the story, so I approve of the outcome. Jellybun says, isn't that just people though? Why try to communicate your feelings when you could just be a jerk? That is a defense mechanism for a lot of people. I'm sure, including me. Like, just pretend you don't have feelings, and like, rather than giving into your fear or even confessing your fear, just pretend you're not afraid. Zozo5002 says, who'd believe him when everyone is out for him anyway? At some point, I think he gave up. So that is a very good observation. Everyone in the story has been progressing as though 426 is the villain of the piece because of the actions that he's been taking. But I have sort of held open the door. What if 426 either isn't Juro Izumi or isn't wrong? What if he's doing things that appear to be, and maybe even are, sinister, but it's for the greater good? It's what needs to be done in order to save the most amount of people. And that happens sometimes in these situations. Like, we can't save everyone, but we either do this or we save no one. And yeah, maybe after a while of being hunted and bouncing around and not having a body and just being a simulated personality, 426 was just like, I can't ever come clean. I always have to operate from the shadows. If they want me to be a bad guy, I'll be the bad guy in order to get it done. So, yeah, interesting character, interesting story beats. We are now in the position where I could do a combat, but before we decide on what happens next, give me a few seconds here. What we're going to do is just see if twitch.tv/morethanamiya is live. She does not appear to be live just yet, so let's give her an extra beat here, and what we'll do is do one of the combat missions, which typically doesn't take very long, and especially for the people that raided over, at a minimum they'll get to see what the combat looks like. So for that, we'll exit out. 89% on our story progression here. Yeah, let's go in here, and we'll at least get ready for it. You know, if Mia goes live before we start, because it's just now occurring to me, I really need to use the restroom. Okay, so let's jump in here. All right, so we've got a few people that are on break. They're on brain overload.
Apologies. I'd only be a liability.
Yeah, no. So let's take out anybody that's red. Give them a chance to relax. Ogata, Kisaragi are on the strike team and clear without a sentinel being mobilized. So Kisaragi we can do, and Ogata we can do. Okay, so he's red, so we're going to lose him for the next round, but we can do it. And aside from that, yeah. Okay, so I'd prefer to keep him out of it. Let's bring Shinonome. Let's bring... Well, I want at least one Gen 4. So we'll bring... well, which of you is a lower level? 21 and 22. So, Yakushiji, you're on the squad. And I'm just prepping everybody that may not have seen the combat in this game. It looks nothing like you're expecting. It's wildly different from what you might be thinking. I don't say that as a criticism. Just... They took it in an interesting direction, and although I enjoy it, it will look very, very abstract for you. Let me just see what the... Hordes of G-Molar and Drillfly Kaiju. So, even mix of ground and in the air, and there's a horde of them. So I'd rather have long-distance fighters, I think. Yeah, let's, Mira's 19, and she's, what, 23? All right, we're gonna bring Mira on there. Now, we have a lot of points to do upgrades with, so let's see what we can do. Yeah, just just the 118,000 points to spend. Now, if I'm going to be facing hordes, I want things like multi-rocket missile launchers, and yes, I do have them equipped, so let's do some upgrades for her. We're going to upgrade that a couple times. Shield emitter I always like as well. All right, who else do we want to upgrade? Minami. So she's our G3, so lots of long-range fire from her. I feel like long-range missiles and missile rain are gonna do the work for us here. Let's upgrade long-range missiles. Right here, yeah. We can easily afford this a few times, really. And then EMP stunner, there's never a bad time for that. I'm gonna do a couple of these. I mean, I got points to spend. Upgrade those. All right, so yeah, we're going heavy on the G3s for this one. He's actually got an unspent point, so we're definitely going to unlock that. I vote for super large missile, can decimate a wide area. We're going to put that onto his equipped bar and then probably upgrade it several times, because why wouldn't you? Now, that is very expensive. And look at that. The EPs that takes, super large missile, 750 energy points. So the next thing that I want to do is upgrade his generator. Look at him. He has no upgrades. Yeah, we definitely want to upgrade his generator, probably at least twice. I also wouldn't mind upgrading his Neuralink twice so that he doesn't get tired quite as easily. Ooh, okay, maybe 3 times. All right, and that's good for him for now. Now for Kisaragi, she's all main battery railgun. We made that decision super early. She also has access to super large missile, but let's do main battery heavy railgun. Upgrade that a couple times. And then Yakushiji. You know what? I love interceptors. Interceptors are super cool. They go around, they do their own thing. She's already got multi-locking missiles. Flare torpedo is always a good pick for Gen 1s. And I'll tell you what, let's see what else we can do. So let's upgrade her Neuralink a couple times. There's probably a meta to this game that says that's not a good idea. And then, yeah, probably fire control or generator, I would think. Let's do our generator. I don't need actuator, not for G3. They don't need to move around too quickly. We'll do our fire control. All right, so I'm down to 19,000 upgrade points. We've upgraded his armor and Neuralink a couple times. So here's how a G1 works. G1s are close range. They charge in, they often are subject to counterattack. So I'm actually going to do his armor one more time. And then... yeah, I think we gave up his jump attack. Maybe upgrade his rush attack, because he does tend to burn through energy pretty quickly. Oops. Yeah, let's upgrade this a couple times, just 'cause it's so cheap relative to how many points that I have. Yeah, leap attack was what we took out for him. And I actually feel that upgrading Demolisher Blade is not worth it anymore. It's so powerful. Maybe I will live to eat those words, but maybe we'll do EMP Attractor for him. Okay, and that's a good amount of upgrades. Let's jump in. Oh, and Dougler's saying that Mia has started. Okay, let's raid over to Mia. So here's what's going to happen for episode 21. We are going to jump into combat, but I really, really don't want to override Mia's time. So what we're going to do here is back out here, leave it on destruction. We're going to throw down a quick save. And that means that as soon as episode 21 starts, we will be able to go directly into combat, and we'll probably do at least a couple points, because it's been a long time since we've done combat. We will do some of those, and then continue on with the story. And I don't think that 21 will be our last episode, but 22 might. We're actually really close there. So let's do a raid over to twitch.tv/more-than-Mia, where Mia will be playing Red Dead Redemption 2. On our way out, Ricardo, glad to do the shout out in the profile, and thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you, big thank you to Samalander, thank you to Jelly Buns, thank you to Zozo5002 and Phenomenon for their ongoing assistance with just sort of like decoding the game and understanding how it works. Thank you to everybody who raided over, and if I can encourage you to keep in mind Jelly Buns' recommendation. When we raid over to More Than a Mia, if you could consider taking a moment to up in the URL, removing the refer equals raid portion of it, that way the views count in full for her channel. And it was very, very kind of Jelly Buns to point that out here. And as we go over, it's really just up at the top where you see in your address bar, just removing that last section. That way it's sort of like a full view for her. It's a kindness. Like, I'd appreciate it. And thank you to Dougler for the raid as well. Dougler, thank you so much for the raid, and thank you to the follow for On Our Way Out. I've got just a couple seconds. And Darkham followed as well. Darkham, stand up. I think it's stand up. We'll go with stand up shitter. Sure, I'm okay with that. And Jelly Buns. And Bakuside, thank you all so much for the raid. Bye, guys. Bye.